Welcome into All Things LA Real Estate. My name is PK Knoll and I'm running point on this channel. This is your Glendale September real estate update. Things are still very difficult out in the real estate market right now, but I'm doing the hard work. I'm jumping into the numbers. That's what type of realtor I am. I want the numbers to tell me exactly where the value lies and what's available and what's happening in the market. So we've been continually breaking down everything on the east side. And we're going to get into Glendale in this video. We're going to look at current numbers in the market. We're going to see what's been happening on a month-over-month and year-over-year perspective. And at the end of the video, I'm going to break down a few homes that have caught my eye so I can try to find you some value out in the market in today's very, very tough environment. Let's go. All right, so what's happening out in Glendale? Pretty desirable spot. It's just north of downtown LA. It kind of sits in that pocket off the southwest side of Pasadena. We got 45 homes available for sale. Not too bad in comparison to the rest of this year. We've had 8 of those homes make price drops, so we're seeing some homes start to have to lower their pricing on the home. Now, normally we wouldn't see that high of a number, that high of a percentage of the homes, and normally when a home drops the price, it's a huge red flag. But in this environment, what's happening now is we just do not have the buyers. They can't afford a 7.5% interest rate, which is completely understandable. I believe if you're going out to look at homes, you need to tread lightly. You need to find a home that has value, because at a 7.5%, maybe even 8% interest rate for some of you, it's a very tough time to find value out there. On the low end right now in Glendale, we have a home available for $825,000. Top end, the highest listed price right now is $3.6 million. We're going to get to that home at the end of the video and homes that have caught my eye, so stick around for that. Average home price right now in Glendale is just over 1.7 at 1.721,733. Average days on market is 44. So where you normally typically see the days on the market is between 30 and 45, a month, month and a half. Why is this important? What we're looking for specifically right now is we want to start seeing homes that have essentially desperate sellers, homes with price drops, so we can get out and get a deal. Because you cannot get into a bidding war when you're paying this high of interest rates. You know, home prices have not dropped since the crazy 2021. So we're paying top end at the home price side, paying top end as far as interest rates go for the recent decade we've been dealing with. So, you know, we want to see that number get to 60, because when the days in the market gets to 60, that's when homes have been sitting for 2 months. Sellers get weary. They get tired of open houses. They just want to move forward with the sale. And when that desperation starts to leak in, it might give opportunities for you to come in as a buyer and get that home. So it's a very important number, very sneaky number in the metrics of a home sale that you can be looking at right now to try and find some value. We take a quick peek into September of 2022. We had 40 homes sell at 101% clip. So just 1% over the list price on average. So there wasn't crazy demand last September. That always kind of slows down as the summer months end. You know, people don't want to move at the beginning of the school year. If you got kids, things like that. We will probably not get back to 40 homes sold this month from a year-over-year perspective, because we only have 45 available, and that'd be quite the fire sale. But if you are somebody who's looking out in Glendale, that's where you want to go. Get into the schools, nice downtown area, Glendale Galleria. What's most important is the statistics from the previous month. So let's do that now. So last month out in Glendale, what's most recent is what's most relevant. Obviously, you want to have an understanding from a month-on-month long-term perspective when it comes to the numbers in any real estate market. But what happened most recently is what's really going to be telling for you and what's going to be dealing with you're going out and making offers right now. What you should do with some caution. If you need some help looking out in Glendale, reach out to me. I'm happy to help. But last month, August, we saw 32 homes sell in Glendale at 105% clip. 105%, we've seen that. If you've been following along with these Glendale updates month over month, we've been seeing 105, 105, 105. So what that tells us is the homes are typically, on average, selling 5% above the list price. So that can be kind of a metric that you keep in your mind when you see a home. So if a home's listed for $1 million, you know, you go 5% over that. Obviously, you can just make that relevant to whatever the list price is. There's typically, on average, selling for 105% on the price. The low end last month, we had a home sell for $870,000. On the top end, we had a $3.271 million. So those numbers are right around when we're looking at the top bottom currently in the market. Brought our average to 1.700518, which is very consistent for Glendale. The days on the market for the homes that sold were 14. That number is always going to be lower than what's on the market because if there's always going to be a few attractive homes that jump onto the market. They sell within that first weekend of open houses, a realtor's dream, and they go off quickly, bringing the average days on, especially when you have only 32 going off. It just takes a couple that sell in the first 2 weeks to keep that number consistent. And if we look into August of 2022, we had 49 homes sell, 103% clip, 3% over the list price of what we were looking at last August of 2022. But from a year-over-year perspective, August 2022 from August 2023, 35% decline. We've seen this in a few neighborhoods on the east side. I think it's something we need to get used to for the rest of this year and probably heading in to the beginning of next year because we're just not going to get that rent relief. Jerome Powell has made it very clear that they are consistently fighting to get the inflation number back down to 2%. Consumers aren't cooperating, so we're kind of stuck in this limbo area where prices aren't dropping. We're not getting demand and rates are staying high. So we're really in just a tight situation. Generally, we're going to continue to see some losses as far as year over year numbers, some declines. But if you are looking, let's go see if we can find some value in homes that have caught my eye. So we're going to finish things off here with homes that have caught my eye. I'm going to break down the entry level, see what it takes to get in the neighborhood from an entry level perspective. We're going to give you my top play, my value play in the neighborhood, trying to find you a home of value. And then we'll look at the top end, see what the top dog looks like. I try not to rag on homes because I'm not trying to hurt other realtors, but more specifically, not trying to hurt anyone trying to sell their home. So I'll try and give you the positive light. But I'm essentially going to tell you exactly what the numbers tell me. That's what I'm all about. I'm a finance guy. I want the numbers to tell the story for me so you can be making a correct financial decision from when it comes from a home side. As far as what neighborhood you want to live in, what's important from a schooling perspective, there's a lot of things that go into it. I do a ton of school reports, so check out those videos in School is Simplified if that's something important to you. But in these videos and the monthly updates, I want the numbers to tell the story. So let's start off on the entry level. If you're coming in at a minimum perspective, what's it look like to get in the neighborhood? And that brings us to, first of all, 1007 San Rafael. That home is the $825,000 listed home, lowest price in Glendale right now. We broke that home down last month in the August real estate update. I'm not going to go back into that home. If you remember, if you've been following along, it's that home that was sitting in between the two large apartment complexes where they can kind of look over the home. So we anticipated that home to kind of sit on the market. We got into it last month. So go ahead and check out near the end of the video in the entry level position for the August real estate update for Glendale. If you want to take a peek at that home. So I'm going to skip over so we're not repetitive for those that are following along month to month. And we're going to get into the second lowest one, which is 1006 North Kenilworth Avenue. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 983 square feet. This one's listed for $899K. So just over that $825 mark. So what's the number saying here? We got $914 per square foot. That's a little high. I want that number, if we're talking about low end, under $1 million homes in Los Angeles on the east side, to be between $400 and $700. So this one's at $914 per. So I don't love that. The lot's okay, $4,051, and it does have a back ADU. So popular on the east side in Los Angeles in general. Affordability is at decade lows right now. That's just the reality of the situation. So a lot of opportunities are coming with a back ADU, so that way you can supplement some of the monthly payment, maybe bring in a renter to put back there. So it gives you that opportunity. Nice little fireplace, nice little outdoor here. Needs a little bit of work. Realistically, the comp, if you kind of make the right adjustments and renovations for this home, it isn't going to go much more than $950K. So you don't have a lot of wiggle room. This is a house, if I'm interested, I'm keeping my eye on, maybe lowballing the offer and seeing if I can get it in at maybe $850. We'll see where the interest comes on that. Like I said, on average in Glendale, we're at the 105% mark. So I don't know if you'll be able to pull that off. Like I said, the per square footage number is high. The comps aren't much wiggle room. This home needs a little bit of work. It sits just off the north side of Glen Oaks Avenue, if you're familiar with the Glendale area. So on the north side of Glendale. But let's jump over to my top pick. If you're going to be buying in a high interest rate market that we're dealing with right now, there's high risk with doing that. So you got to find a home that has potential to appreciate, home that has good value. And that's what I look for when I look for PK's top picks. And that brings us to 1218 Yale Drive, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,649 square feet. This one's listed for $2.49 million. Has a nice 2-car garage, great yard there, and a real homely porch. I'm big on a nice little porch. You can go out and enjoy the summer, winter, fall, spring evenings out on the porch. That's the beautiful part of living in Los Angeles. $757 per square foot. Like I said, 4 to 7, I'm great. Let's roll. 7,222 is the lot. So you got some room to enjoy the yard here. Here's the big thing that attracted me to this home. We just had a comp right down the street from this home. It was a 3.2 1344. So we're 3.2 1649. This was a 3.2 1344. So we got it by 300 square feet, and that home sold for 1.462 500. So over 200K more than the home we're looking at right now, and that is exactly what I want. I want a home that the second I move in can be valued higher than what I paid. And I need that if I'm going to be paying a high interest rate. If you get in at 7.5% interest rate, which is where most of you are coming in right now, you're going to pay 150% in interest on your loan. That's what 7.5 means. So I need to make sure I have a home that can appreciate so I don't go underwater on my loan, and I have opportunities to possibly refinance down the line. Do not be dependent on refinancing. I'm not that guy. That is a risky assessment. You need to come in and be able to afford your monthly payment at what you get it at right now for the majority, the entirety of your 30-year. And if things change down the line, you have opportunities to improve that, great, but you cannot be dependent on that because that's how you get in deep, deep water. It sits in the North Adams Hill neighborhood, if you're familiar with that. So I really think if you're looking out in Glendale and you're in the price point that puts you at the 1.25 range, you might want to mark up that 5%. It's probably going to go a little bit above the list price because I'm not the only realtor out there looking for some value for you. But this home has got it. Let's finish off with the top end. It's 3318 Deer Creek Lane, 5 bedrooms, 6 baths, 6,874 square feet. So nice sized home here, and it's listed for $3.6 million. It sits right by the Oakmont Country Club. If you're a golfer, beautiful little course there. $523 per square foot on this home. I love that number. When you get into the top end, anything that's above 3, 4, 5 million, anywhere on the east side, you're typically going to see that per square foot number at 1,000. So this one's half that at 523. The lot's not huge. It's 7911. I could, desire a little bit more if I'm paying 3.5 million on a home, but a beautiful 3-story home here. The views are incredible. It's completely remodeled. One negative, my biggest negative generally logistically to living on the east side, I'm an east side guy, is it's a little bit of a trek to get out to the beach, 40 minutes if you're lucky. So having a pool and jacuzzi is a beautiful little addition. And if I'm paying $3.6 million for a home on the east side, I want a pool and jacuzzi, and this one checks the box. So I actually do like the value here. I like how the numbers check out. Beautiful home, great neighborhood. Give it a look. Thank you so much for watching the video. We do this every single month for almost every neighborhood on the east side. We're doing Pasadena, Silver Lake, Eagle Rock, Highland Park, Glendale, La Cañada, El Sereno, Cypress Park. The list goes on and on. So like and subscribe to the channel if you are so inclined. If you're somebody who's looking to purchase a home on the east side of Los Angeles or sell your home, I am happy to help out with you. Reach out to me. You can send me a direct message online, or all of my phone numbers are listed. Even if you're somebody who's hesitant with 7% interest rates, that puts us in the same boat. It always helps to start preparing for future opportunities because you don't want to miss the boat there. We will tread lightly. We will look for value, and we will get it done. I also do a ton of other videos. I get into the schools. I get into, the restaurants in the neighborhood. I get into the attractions in the neighborhood. I do some other fun videos like quick cribs. So once again, like and subscribe if you are so inclined. Have a great day. Be kind. Yeah.
Ooh.